All right, pardon the mess, but I just got a bull and I get asked all the time, how much weight am I actually packing out? Well, I have almost all the quarters. I cut up one of the quarters and I cut up everything that was in the meat bag. I weighed the meat bag beforehand. So I already know how much it weighs. It weighed 82 pounds. That was all of the scrap meat except for the back straps. So I've got the back straps in one of the front quarters, and we'll be able to figure out about how much of the back straps it was. It was a 5x6 bull, pretty average size bull, probably somewhere in the 700-ish pound range for a Rocky Mountain bull. So let's go ahead and we're going to actually start weighing this stuff out, and you can see just how much weight we're actually packing out. All right, so I've got it zeroed out. This is the quarter with the actual back straps in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to end up taking the full weight of the other quarter mixed, and we're just basically going to subtract out the difference between this front quarter. All right, so 61.5 pounds for this quarter, and like I said, that's with the back straps in there. All right, let's go ahead and do this quarter. $37.9 pounds. And we're not really going to worry about the weight of the actual game bags because the game bags are going to weigh basically nothing. An entire set of these game bags with a set of 6 ends up weighing, it ends up being about 1 pound. So it's basically insignificant compared to the weight of. All right, so this is the rear, and it's a boned out rear, so it's 50.4 pounds. So this is going to be somewhat of an estimate because I didn't get a chance to weigh the other quarter that I already cut up. But we're just going to go ahead and assume that it's pretty close to the rear quarter that we had already cut up, or I'm sorry, that we already weighed. So what we have right now is front number 1 was 61.5 pounds. And remember though, that was with the back straps in there. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to subtract that out from number 2. So number 2 was 37.9 pounds. So that's a difference of 23.6 pounds. Okay, and we're going to stick that down here in the scrap meat. So 23.6. Okay, so the rear quarter that we weighed was 50.4 pounds, and we're basically just going to multiply that by 2. It's going to be pretty close. All right. And then the scrap meat, I did actually weigh the scrap meat before just because I was curious. But we're going to add it here. So that was 82.1 pounds, giving us a total of scrap meat of 105.7 pounds. All right. So if we go ahead and we go over, so the 2 front quarters would equal 75.8 pounds. The 2 rear quarters would be 100.8 pounds. And then we have 105.7 pounds for our scrap meat. And that gives us a total of 282.3 pounds. Okay, so keep in mind though, it's going to vary from bull to bull. It's going to vary based on bloodshot. It's going to vary. The front quarters are going to weigh different if you add in a little bit of the neck meat with the quarter, or if you add more of the rib meat with the quarter. So there are going to be some variations to this, but he was a pretty average size mature bull, and we're pretty close. We're pushing that 300-pound mark. Also remember too, these rear quarters were boned out. So with the bones in there, probably end up adding another 25 to 30 pounds, give or take. Could be more, could be less. But in general, that's going to give you a good idea for what you can expect to pack out.